There comes a moment in life when the weight becomes too heavy, when every door slams shut, every light goes dark, and the world you built with your own trembling hands collapses in front of you. It's the kind of moment that forces you onto your knees, not out of choice, but out of sheer exhaustion. And if you're listening right now, maybe you know exactly what that moment feels like. Maybe you're standing in the middle of a life that's falling apart piece by piece. But here's the truth no one ever tells you. That moment, the very one breaking you, is the same moment shaping you into someone you've never met before. The moment everything falls apart is the moment you rise. This message is for the ones who are tired of pretending to be strong. For the ones who've been holding the world together with shaking fingers. For the ones who keep smiling even though their hearts feel like they're splitting open. This message is for you. Because sometimes life doesn't whisper, sometimes it screams. And sometimes the scream sounds like loss, heartbreak, disappointment, or failure. But beneath that noise, something powerful begins. Something extraordinary. Something reborn. This story begins in a small coastal village in Valparaiso, Chile, a place where the air smells like sea salt and sun, and the evenings glow gold as they fall gently over the ocean. In this quiet place lived a young woman named Elena Marquez, who believed she had her life all figured out, until the day everything was taken from her. Elena had always been a dreamer. She would wake up before sunrise, walk barefoot across the old wooden pier, and watch the waves crash against the rocks with a notebook pressed to her chest. She wanted to be an artist, someone whose work breathed life into the world. But dreams are fragile things, and life has a way of testing just how much you want the very thing you claim to live for. Her family struggled. Her father's health declined. Her job barely paid enough for rent. And soon, the pressure began eating away at her confidence. But she kept going, kept fighting, kept believing, until one night, a fire broke out in her small art studio, the place where her dreams lived. The place she spent years building with every coin she saved. In one night, everything she created, every painting, every memory, every piece of her soul, burned away in a storm of orange flames that lit the sky like a dying sun. She watched from the street with trembling hands, unable to move. Neighbors tried to comfort her, but their voices sounded distant, like echoes trapped underwater. All she could see was everything she had ever worked for turning to ash. And something inside her broke. For weeks, Elena drifted like a ghost. She stopped drawing, stopped socializing, stopped believing that anything good could ever come back. The world felt cold, empty, pointless. She had nothing left, not even hope. And maybe you felt that too, the moment when your fire dies and all you can see is darkness. If this story is touching something real inside you, pause and type the city you're watching from in the comments. Let someone else see they're not alone. Your comment might be the message someone desperately needs tonight. But here's the thing about life. Sometimes your breaking point is not the end. It's the beginning. The moment everything falls apart strips away the illusions, the fears, the expectations, the limits you didn't even know you placed on yourself. And beneath all that rubble, something new breathes for the first time. One morning, weeks after the fire, Elena returned to the pier where she used to sketch. The sky was painted in soft purples and blues, the sun peeking over the horizon like a quiet promise. She sat on the edge of the pier with her legs dangling above the water, staring at the waves that never stopped crashing, never stopped rising, never stopped returning. And that's when it hit her. The ocean fell apart every second, and still rose again. The waves broke, shattered, scattered, yet every single time, they returned stronger, louder, bolder. "What makes me any different?" she whispered through tears. Her pain didn't disappear. Loss doesn't vanish, it transforms. And in that transformation, Elena saw something she hadn't seen in herself before. Resilience, quiet and wild, waiting to be awakened. One simple realization changed everything. Maybe I didn't lose everything. Maybe I lost everything that was holding me back. And with that single shift, something inside her reignited. Elena didn't magically regain her studio or her old life, but she picked up a pencil, just a pencil, and drew a line across an old scrap of paper. One line, one breath, one step forward. And sometimes, that's enough to start rising again. She began drawing at the pier every morning, letting the ocean guide her hands. Her art changed. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't polished. But it was honest, raw, alive. Something people couldn't ignore. Fishermen began watching her. Tourists started buying small sketches. A local cafe asked to display her work. And over months of slow, steady rebuilding, the world returned to her, not because life suddenly got easy, but because she refused to stay buried under the ruins. She rose, not from strength alone, but from surrender, from acceptance, from understanding that the moment everything fell apart was the moment she became someone she never knew she could be. And now, if you're listening, if your life feels like it's breaking, collapsing, falling apart beneath your feet, I want you to hear this. You are not ruined. You are not finished. You are not defeated. You are being reshaped. Life is not ending for you. Life is preparing you. Because the moment everything falls apart is not your destruction. It is your awakening. The fire didn't take Elena's dream. It revealed the dream she was meant to build. And maybe what you're going through is doing the same for you. So don't run from the breaking. Don't fear the collapse. Sometimes the ground has to crack for something powerful to grow. And when you rise, and you will rise, your story will make sense in ways it never could have before. Because the moment everything falls apart is the exact moment you discover who you were born to become. If this message moved you, tell us the city you're watching from. Your story matters. Your rise matters. And someone reading your comment might find the strength they've been searching for. Stay strong and rise.